What's going on? It's your girl Silva. That's Silva with an A, no relation to the color, and I'm about to vent.
Alright, where you grew up?
I grew up all over the place, but I was born and raised in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So I've lived in. I was born in Bed-Stuy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I lived in Crown Heights, but I know now that I've lived in Flatbush, and I spent most of my early Brooklyn years in East New York.
Yeah.
Glenmore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. From like Hagerman. Glenmore, God bless you.
But I've lived in Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Harlem when I was younger, and then I spent a lot of time in Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where your dance move come from. Harlem.
Yeah.
Got you. Which part of Harlem?
You said that's my accent.
Dance moves.
Oh, my dance moves.
Which part of Harlem?
I was young, but I think it was like in the 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
East side or west?
West.
West. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's super gentrified.
Yeah.
Like 20s, the west side.
It's not the same.
Super gentrified. Now, got you. So growing up so many different places, like I guess you get different aspects of different things, different love. I mean, because as a New Yorker, you know for a fact like these are different places.
Yeah.
Maybe outside of New York, you probably think, oh, they're all New York, but like when you live here, like Glenmore is a big difference from the West Side 20s of Harlem. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, what can you say like you picked up from like moving so much?
One thing I feel like I've never had like a super sense of community, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like you know how you grew up. Oh yeah, that's my man's from the block. Like I grew up with him. Like oh yeah, we grew up. We used to play ball right here. I don't really have that per se.
Mm-hmm.
Like
you don't got no homegirls from the block.
Nah. I think the only block that I could say that, and I don't even really fuck with any of them, is when I lived in Queens on like 142nd and God Brewer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was like it was like late elementary school, and my neighbors were kids, and then my other neighbors moved in and they went to my school, and at some point it was just like you walked outside and sometimes it was like everybody went to 52, and I was like, oh, okay. So that was probably like the most lit situation. But other than that, like when I was living in Brooklyn, I used to walk outside by myself. I was probably like 5, 6. I used to go to the store. I used to like run the streets. Me and my brothers, like that's what I'm trying to say. Like my mother was always at work, so we kind of just did whatever.
Got you. I did whatever too.
Yeah. But in terms of like just the different cultures, I would say being back in Brooklyn, it definitely feels like home. I feel like in Queens, I was just uncomfortable. Like.
But how so?
Because I don't know, like Queens is like quiet, but then I don't know why I feel like Queens is sneaky.
No, bro, that's Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty sneaky. Because of the houses are rocky to slip.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like with Brooklyn, like you know what you're getting. Like Brooklyn is cultural. Brooklyn is this. With Queens, it's just like everything's so spaced out. Like if you want to find something, you gotta look for it.
I'm telling you for sure. Yeah. That's why it was. That makes sense. So, alright then. So, how do you, I mean, your social skills, how the fuck do you develop that if you like, I don't have no like old friends and shit like that?
I used to talk to myself.
I'm not
I used to talk to myself like a motherfucker.
You don't do that no more?
I mean, yeah, sometimes I chop it up, like I meditate or I check in with myself. But I definitely think that like I watch TV a lot. I grew up on like comedy. Like I used to sneak and watch my cousin's comedy tape. So I used to chop it up with like Eddie Murphy, Martin, Steve, Kings, like Bernie. Like I loved all of them. Monique, Shamor, like so that's how I like. To me, that was social. Like being social is being funny. You know what I mean? Like. If you have a conversation and you ain't laugh or learn, it's like, what the fuck did y'all just talk about? Exactly. What the fuck?
I never thought about that. Laugh or learn. Yeah, that should be the The basis of every conversation.
The basis of every conversation.
I
like
think that's now the mission statement of my podcast from now on.
I'm dead.
If you didn't laugh or learn,
Quote me.
This shit was terrible. This was a terrible episode. Shit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, when I tell you, I really I didn't feel like I could talk to the people around me. Like, people could talk to me all day long. Like, I was like the hood Oprah, like from young, like as early as I can remember. But in terms of me, like expressing myself and talking to people, like, nah, that was a conversation I always had in the mirror. Like, so.
Wow. What started that?
I don't know. I just feel like when you're that person that people come to, they don't think that you need somebody to come to too. And that goes back to me saying like, oh, you know, I was talking when I was a couple months and people always felt like I already had everything together. It's because like I was just born this way. I was born wise. Like my name means God is gracious. Like I just already come anointed and shit. You know what I mean? So people don't feel
not
like
to brag or not.
Yeah, and it's not to brag. It's not to brag. But it's just a certain thing about like my energy and just how I carry myself. It doesn't come off like, oh nah, she might be going through some shit, or like I've never looked like that. But there were plenty of times where I felt like that. So I don't know. So, hey yo, what up? It's Silva. That's Silva with an A, no relation to the color, and I just vented. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.